Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do my top 5 30cm X Plus Godzilla figure countdown. So I have 7, so it means 2 of them will not make the cut. But which 2 will it be? And who will be number 1? Find out soon. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at DayNight333 for plenty of pictures und Clippage. P.S. Look how nicely the animated series Batman statue blends in with the 1/6 scale figures. It's really nice. Stands out from the crowd. Very, very cool piece. I reviewed that recently on the channel, so check it out. I'll just quickly go through what's here. We've got the 1992 X Plus Godzilla. We've got the original 84 Godzilla by X Plus. We've got Shin Godzilla Rick version X Plus. And the Godzilla GMK X Plus. We've got the 2014 Godzilla, the Gareth Edwards movie, X Plus 30cm. And we've got the more recent 84 Godzilla by X Plus, that's the Sakai sculpt. And then the 2002 version of Godzilla. So that's all the 30cm Godzillas that are here. At number 5, I've gone with the 2014 version. It's just a beautiful piece and an amazing sculpt, incredible paint job, and a lot of fun to photograph and do videos with. It's just a really, really detailed piece, and there's probably even better ones now. I think this is one of the older ones, possibly the first time X Plus did him in 30cm, because it is based on that first film, 2014. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and he had to be in the top 5. Doesn't take up too much space on the shelf because of his tail pose going up like that, but absolutely stunning work on the sculpt. Nice sharp teeth, nice detail in his eye and the tongue, beautiful work on the scales, the paint. Just an amazing piece. Very glad to have him. And what I'll do for each piece is show them from the front, both sides and the back, just so you can see. I'll zoom in a bit for you. Just a fantastically detailed sculpt. I'm no expert on this Godzilla, but it certainly looks accurate to me. And from the other side, love the tail. But yeah, we'll move on now to number 4, but this was my number 5 pick. The 2014 Godzilla from the Gareth Edwards film, X Plus 30cm figure. An absolutely fantastic piece. Very glad to have him here. Check out the full review on the channel. I made a Godzilla playlist, folks, with all the X Plus videos. Nice and easy for you to just find them all now. It's on the main page of the channel. If you scroll down just a little bit, the playlist is there. Enjoy. And number 4, I've gone for the GMK 2001. Absolutely badass. Recently reviewed it on the channel, so make sure you check out the review. This Godzilla is pure evil, comprised of the souls of everyone who was killed by the Imperial Japanese during World War II. So his sole purpose is to kill and destroy and just bring absolute devastation to Japan. And he's got those soulless, well, I shouldn't say soulless because that's what he's made up of. He is literally just the souls of all those poor folks who feel they've been forgotten. I mean, at least that's what I've gathered from watching it and various other people talking about it on YouTube. But as soon as I heard that explanation for this particular Godzilla, I was very kind of hooked. And then the more I looked at it, with his very distinct look, with that cloudy white eye with no pupil, and just the shape of the head, the teeth, with that slight curve to the teeth, which is quite distinct. Beautiful sculpt on this thing. It's an amazing piece, but I've already reviewed it, so I won't try and repeat myself too much. He is obviously going to be in the top 5. Should probably be higher in the top 5, but at least he's in there. I'll give you some different angles, but it is just a very, very badass looking Godzilla. I bought this one on eBay without the box, so it didn't cost me. It's still expensive because they are, but it wasn't as bad because of the lack of a box. But everything else is absolutely mint. Alright, the front view. It looks good from any angle. Tail goes off to the side so it doesn't take up too much space on the shelf, which is great. It means you can really just choose which way he's going to be facing. It looks really good if you put him on the shelf quite high up and you're looking up at him like this. He looks even more evil from below. I'll just get in close now. And you appreciate the detail of the sculpt. Amazing. Alright, and we'll just check out the other side and the back. As you can clearly see, definitely one of the best X plus 30 centimeter Godzilla figures. It's a great side profile as well. I've seen this film twice now. Yeah, I watched it a second time. Didn't mind the kind of in-between moments with the humans doing their thing. Not as bad as some others. Quite an enjoyable film to watch all the way through. Some really great scenes in there. Alright, let's check him out from the back. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of when these are required because I just would rather not see that, but it's alright. It's not the end of the world. And that is my number 4 pick. Let me know what you think in the comments, folks. Now we'll move on to number 3. What could it be? My number 3 is the 1992 Godzilla. I got this from a very nice guy, Chris, on Facebook, and I got it because I almost didn't get it, and there was another one that he was selling as well, possibly the 2000 version. It's definitely one of the Millennium ones, but it's the one where he's just charcoal and he's looking up at the sky roaring, and I'm just not a massive fan of the look of that one, but I probably should get it because it was a great deal. If you're watching, Chris, I don't know if you still have that, but anyway, we'll get to that later. But I got this one in the end because it did remind me of the front cover of Charles Barkley vs. Godzilla comic book that I have since 1992 or 93. So just for that reason alone, I thought, wow, it would be so great to have this version of Godzilla from my early teens. But then I found out just recently that he's extremely rare and hard to come by and very sought after. I was going to paint him like a dark green. I was going to completely repaint this one because when I was younger, growing up in the 80s and early 90s, I remember a lot of comic books and cartoons and posters that I had of Godzilla from that time period, and he was always green, like a dark green. And I don't have any dark green Godzillas in the collection. They're all charcoal or, you know, darker. And I was very, very close. I literally had the paint ready to go, and then just before I was about to start repainting this figure, something told me to just go looking on YouTube for reviews on it, which I'd already watched when I was trying to decide whether to buy them or not, but I wanted to watch them again. And I watched the one by the guy called Leslie. He does a lot of Godzilla videos. He's like one of the OG Godzilla reviewers. Mad respect to him. But he started the video by saying how rare and hard to find it is, this version, the 92. And then I watched another video, and the first thing that guy said was how hard it was to find. And I looked on eBay and I couldn't find a single one, and I've done that a few days in a row now and I still can't find any. So then obviously I thought to myself, well, don't go painting it, you know, if it's really that rare and such a sought after piece, hard to find, because apparently it's one of the first ones they did, just from what I heard, one of the first 30cm Sakai, not Sakai, sorry, just a regular 30cm Godzilla X Plus figure. But yeah, so I got to admit that really did kind of make me fall in love with it a little bit more. I already loved it because of the, you know, the resemblance to the Charles Barkley vs. Godzilla comic book. But yeah, finding out how rare he is, and just, you know, the Heisei era Godzilla look, which I really do like. It's just so good to have it here. But thank you so much to Chris for selling it to me for a really reasonable price, and I'm very, very glad he's here. But Chris, if you're watching, I'll always take good care of him. He's gone to a good, loving home. And even though it's one of the older X Plus Godzillas, the work on it is fantastic. His teeth are really good, the eyes are painted really well, and the sculpt is to the usual high standard. And he's a nice big figure as well. He's one of the bigger X Plus Godzillas. Not bigger than the 2014, but I think he's the second biggest in the collection. And he's got a nice wide stance in the legs. Very much ready for the fight. And one of the few I have with an open mouth. And I did consider doing the trick where you heat up the mouth area and then close it and then tie elastic bands around it and let it just cool down, leave it for a while, and then the mouth will set in a closed pose. But I like how aggressive he is. I'm trying to track down the 1991 Sakai Godzilla, but it's very, very hard to come by. For some reason there's loads of the open mouth version. There's loads of them on eBay, but I don't really want another open mouth Heisei. I wouldn't mind a closed mouth one. Or I suppose I could always close the mouth on the other one. We'll see. But we'll give you a few more angles. So yeah, it's very nice to have such a beautiful and rare, sought after Godzilla collectible, and it has been reviewed on the channel, so you can check out the review for a more in-depth look. There we go. Tail comes out a little bit far at the back, so he's, you know, a bit of a shelf hog, but not too bad. Not as bad as the Sakai 84 with the tail that basically just goes straight back. That's a nightmare trying to get him to work on a shelf. Alright, so there it is, my number 3 pick, the 1992 super rare, super awesome X Plus 30cm Godzilla. At number 2, it's the 1984 Sakai Sculpt 30cm X Plus Godzilla. Look at that eye, look at the veins, look at the teeth, look at the expression. From my childhood, I remember seeing this film when I was about 5 years old, and he is amazing. Tail is very long, takes up a lot of space unfortunately, but there's no denying he is one of the very best. I love the position of the arms, really reminds me of quite a few moments in the movie. And the slightly off eyes, kind of his right eye kind of goes off a little bit to the side, but that is how it looked in the movie. It was very accurate. Amazing, really sharp work on this one. Some of the best eyes I've seen on any of the X Plus Godzillas. Absolutely awesome. And we'll just check him out from this side. And the view from the back. Proper side profile shot there. He's a big boy. Takes up a lot of depth on the shelf. Kind of basically has to be put like this, kind of a side profile display. But then the tail does take up a lot of room. But he's definitely one of my favourite pieces. I wouldn't be without him now. So there you go, folks, at number 2, the Sakai sculpt of the 1984/85 Godzilla. At number 1, of course, it's my Shin Godzilla 30cm X Plus Sakai Sculpt brick version. And the brick version means that it's got kind of translucent skin, so that the light kind of passes through him and it makes it look like he's glowing red from the inside. And it's just an incredible design. I love the movie, and this was one of the most expensive things I ever bought and put in my collection. It's so expensive on the aftermarket, eBay and places like that. I haven't seen anyone selling one of these in the groups on Facebook. Not since I've been on there anyway, but it's very hard to get. But it had to be done, and I have no regrets. I am so glad he's here. Absolutely adore this look. When I first got this figure, I just brought it everywhere with me around the house, just so I could see it wherever I was. Yep, everywhere. He's gnarly. He's got nails sticking out of different parts of his feet. He's just in pain all the time, man. It's such a tragic creature. Very, very good movie, Shin Godzilla. Check it out. But it's the one that relit the flame for me. Big time. I mean, just look at that. It's absolutely incredible. When I reviewed this guy, it was before I got this Canon professional camera here that I'm filming with. So I filmed the review for this piece with my Samsung phone, so I really would like to go back and do the review again with this camera, which I probably will do. Any excuse to film this thing. You can see how he looks like he's glowing, burning from the inside, which is absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like this before. And it's still, there's an amazing wow factor to it. I love this angle. Look at him looking down at the city as he walks through it. The hands facing up. I love the view from the front, especially with the position of the tail. It looks incredible from the front view, just like in the movie. And you can see he's kind of stepping forward. There's the view from the back. And you can see up the middle of him, it looks like he's really glowing. It's an incredible effect. There was a regular version without the translucent skin, which some people say looks better. I have never seen it in person, so I couldn't tell you. But I'm so happy to have this version. So I'm a big fan of this glowing effect. It's very, very effective on him. And it's also very effective on the rig version of the gigantic Shin Defo Reel. But that's it, folks. That's my number one Godzilla piece out of all the 30cm figures. And I don't see that ever changing. I don't see anything coming along that would replace the Shin fourth form for me. There is a new Godzilla Toho movie coming out next year, and they released that teaser image, and kind of looks like it could possibly be some kind of Shin sequel. I don't know. Apparently they said they were never going to do that, but I'd be up for a sequel to Shin Godzilla, or leave it alone as a very unique, its own thing. That's fine too. But I'm just glad we got another Godzilla movie to look forward to, and obviously a whole bunch of new figures too. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed the top 5 countdown. Let me know what your top 5 would be in the comments. Share it with your Godzilla collector buddies. And drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll see you soon, take it easy. Bye bye.